Howdy, Hotshots. It's a Dividend Daddy, your favorite not a financial advisor with not financial advice. And whoo-wee, boys, we are bleeding green the last couple days. We got Ulty sucking hind tit. Why is that? What is dragging Ulty down? Why? Red all day yesterday and all day today. Well, we did say yesterday was the ex-dividend date, and so that's one of the reasons why it went down 10 cents, but we've got additional red to account for. Now, yesterday was a rough day in the tech sectors. Today's a rough day in the tech sectors, but I know you, and I know you want something more specific. And so right here in my little flowery notepad, I've got that which ye seek. All right, so let's dig into it, see exactly what the problem is, see if we think it can make a recovery. Now, here's the deal. The old lady was going to skin me alive if I kept on buying more of this Ulty today, so I had to put the kibosh on any orders I had out there today. I got my 1,100 shares the last couple days. I'm going to have to see a little bit of green before I go and shovel on more coal to the fire. All right, that's what I'm going to have to do. So just in case you're wondering if you're the only one that's in that position out there, not Dividend Daddy's in that boat with you. Okay, I didn't buy any more Ulti today, even though I saw those prices and I was licking my chops and I wanted to buy some, but enough money's left my bank account the last couple of days. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see a little bit of strength. I'm going to see it bounce back, get a couple divvies under my belt, get me back in the green. I know I made a video of like a few days ago and I said, who's losing money on Ulti at this point? Because at that point, it was almost that any price you bought it, you were still in the green by a smidge when you calculate your total return, including distributions, all right? But I'm a little bit in the red now. Now, part of that's because I bought some shares the last couple of days that I haven't got a distribution on, but I did get a distribution today with $225, I think it was, and I didn't look to see what price it got reinvested at because I have it on drip. I'm guessing somewhere around $5.90 because that's what price it was last I looked, which is still a pretty good price. That is lower than my cost basis as calculated by my brokerage. Look at this. I hurt myself. My son hurt me. Got a hot shell stuck in my t-shirt at the range. Burnt me. Makes me look like I'm a leper or something. But I probably got in at $5.90. That'll buy me, I'd have to look, maybe like 35-ish shares, something like that. Next week, I should get a bigger divvy. I should get a bigger distribution and be able to buy more shares with that drip. And hopefully, after that, I'll be back in the green, and then Big Daddy can pick up some more shares, because that's what I want. I want that income. Can you retire on Ulti? You could use it to supplement your retirement income. At this juncture, I don't think we have a strong enough track record for you to be off quitting your job. But then again, I don't make decisions for you. If you're going to make the bet, you got to vet. All right, so you got to make your own decisions. But I would proceed with caution because you don't want to be living high on the hog, going on your old people cruises, smoking your Pall Malls and drinking your cheap vodka with your own version of gag. Okay, and run out of NAV, and then they don't give you any more distribution. So I do want to see it get back to the pre-June Ulti, where it was in a slow climb and still paying those huge divvies, all right? That's what I want to see. You could tell me if I'm wrong down below. You could tell me if you disagree with me. You could say, Dividend Daddy, you're an idiot. Keep loading up, all right? But I'm going to put a little bit more money in GDXY. Probably going to buy some more QQQI because I like to spread my love around, okay? I like, when I see it down, I don't want to be the only position I have down. I want to make sure I have 5 or 10 or 15 positions that are all down. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going to bust out this little notebook and look at all the figuring I've been doing. I got hurt on this one because I own it as an individual stock in addition to having it at Ulti. We're going to get back to that one because that's a big one. BMNR, Bitminer, right? I think that's Bitminer, down 4.3%. Well, that's no surprise. If you looked at my crypto portfolio today, it would not be surprising to you that anything crypto related was down today. Is that going to bounce back? Well, I think crypto is a huge portion of the future, so I'm not worried about whether or not that's going to bounce back. Now, whether Ulti plays it right or not, that's another question. We're going to have another video, maybe tomorrow, where we take a look at some of the holdings and see, can it bounce back? Okay, but Bitmine itself, Bitminer, whatever that company is, I'm sure that it's still got a bright future ahead. Okay, Coinbase down 2.26%. Honestly, I don't even know why. They make money when you're buying, when you're selling. They're making money backwards and forwards. So I don't know why it's down, other than the fact that it's associated with crypto. Obviously, when crypto goes down, less people pour into the market, so their commissions probably do go down. And the sentiment is definitely down on crypto right now, as we saw a big drop in my crypto today. IonQ down 1.95%. MicroStrategy. That hurt Misty too. My Misty's down 1.78%. That's another crypto-related play. And that's why that one was down, because crypto's down. Oklo down 3.53%. That hurt. Palantir, that's down 2.13%. You know what? I think that particularly, obviously Palantir is volatile. It's been on a huge run for several months now. So it has to give up a little bit occasionally. Down 2.13% is not a huge amount, but it still affects Ulti because it's a position that they're holding. It's one of their top positions. So it's going to put a dent in it. Do I think that's permanent? No, I don't think that's permanent. With all the AI coming out and the surveillance state that we essentially live in and turning it into a surveillance world, do you think Palantir's on its way down? Not right now. Obviously, they're going to get hit every time they talk about government contracts, and everything gets hit when they talk about tariffs. But I think that this day in particular for Palantir was one of the cases of buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay, because they just made a partnership with what is that? There's a Japanese company, Ompo or something like that, that they just made their agreement today official to spread some more of their love over there in Japan. So I think maybe people were loading up on it, anticipating that deal. They got the news, and then they sold off in order to capture those gains. So maybe I'm wrong. That's just my guess, is that they bought the rumor and sold the news, just like the old adage says. Here's the big one. And it put a pretty good dent in my account because I own shares of this company standalone, and that is Applied Materials. And supposedly it is down 14%. That's 14%. That is a big deal. Ulti was down, 0.68% or something like that today, 0.78%. And one of their biggest positions was down 14%. So it's understandable that it took a little bit of a dip. I did not look at yesterday's individual stock returns. I knew that tech was down yesterday because the rest of my account, I could see the tech holdings were down. And that's what I assumed between that and the dividend, ex-dividend date happening. That's why it was down yesterday. But today it was down again. And I go, well, what is going on? And man, shares got down to 586, I think, at one point. And that would have been a good place to buy. And I see people in the comments, a lot of you got shares there, and congratulations. As long as it doesn't keep going down, that's going to have been a beautiful move. Now, I thought my purchases at $6 and then all the way down to $5.95 were a good choice too. But obviously, I could have got a little better price today, meaning a higher yield. But I'm going to have to wait for a distribution on those shares to get me back in the green on those 1,100 shares. But you guys who bought in the 580s, last I looked, you're already green. So that's pretty dadgum good. Immediately getting a little bit of a bump in addition to getting that huge distribution rate. But Applied Materials, I think, was dragging us down today. 14% is a lot. I have had Applied Materials for a little while. I think I was up about 20%. Now I'm only up about 5%. it put a pretty good dent in my account. And that was on a reduction in Chinese spending, according to the major media outlets. Okay, so China decided they don't want to spend as much as they were going to spend, and so Applied Materials is taking a little bit of a dump. But long term, I still think Applied Materials is a good stock to hold. They make a lot of the stuff that you're going to need for our AI revolution that's going to take all of our jobs. All right, degens? So hit me up in the comments if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Give me your tips and tricks. Tell me what price you got in on today. Tell me if you're still buying shares. Tell me how much you earned in dividends. I'll talk to you later.